So the first thing to know about dreams is that they are messages from our subconscious, and our subconscious speaks in symbols, not in words. So every person has unique symbols to them, and it's important to pay attention to symbols in dreams. So what I'd suggest if you're starting to work with dreams is to write them down when you wake up. Some people find it difficult to recall their dreams, but some tips that can make that easier is, firstly, to lie very still when you wake up. So if you are aware that you've had a dream, lie really still, don't move, don't go and do your next activity, but wait for that dream to come back to you and then write it down. Some people also like to speak their dream into audio and keep a record of it that way. I'm more of a writer and a reader, so I like to write mine down. So while it's fresh in your memory, write it down. Pay attention to any symbols, so any objects in the dream, any people, the environment, position of things, so if things are on the left or the right or the north or the south. Write everything down and then pay attention to those symbols. So all the symbols have a meaning. So let me give an example. Say if you have a fish in your dream, that fish is going to have a meaning which is personal to the dreamer. So I could have a dream about a fish and it could mean something personal to me, which could be very different from somebody else who has a dream with a fish in it. So what's important is to understand our personal symbols. And it's not to say that if I hear somebody's dream, I could give a suggestion that that fish represents something which is meaningful to me. But at the end of the day, it is the dreamer that gets to decide whether that is true or not. The dreamer needs to work out what the meaning of his or her symbols are in the dream. Also, what comes up in dreams is anything that's been suppressed during the waking life. So for example, if you're unable to express emotions during the day because you're in an environment where that's not acceptable, it's likely that those emotions will come up either during the dream itself or when you wake up, you might feel strong emotions. So a lot of things in dreams do relate to what's happened in our waking life in recent times, but that's not the only content of dreams. There's many different layers to what we see and what we hear and what we experience in a dream. A lot of people have recurring dreams, and this is when we're not getting the message. So the subconscious is trying to raise our awareness to something. So bringing something from the subconscious into the conscious awareness so that we can reflect on it, we can think about it, we can work with it, and we can learn something. But when we're not getting that, that's when the recurring dreams start. And personally, I've not really had recurring dreams, but I do get recurring symbols. So this is another kind of more subtle aspect where if the same scenarios are appearing in dreams or the same symbols, that can have a thread and a meaning that runs through dreams, which could be very different, but there is a common theme and a common meaning. So again, comes back to symbols. It's important to understand our personal symbols. But what is really exciting to me about dreams is the idea that it's our true nature trying to get in touch with us, trying to express itself. And this is where we can really start to understand what's true to us and what is part of our false self or our social conditioning. So we're kind of taught by society to believe that everybody's the same. We're treated the same in a lot of situations. But actually, every single person on this planet is completely unique. Every person has gifts and talents which can be put to use. And every person has their own self-expression. And it's getting stamped out of us through conditioning. So this is really exciting to me, that if we pay attention to our dreams, we can really get in touch with who we are at a core and who we were always meant to be, rather than acting in order to fit into society or in order to find approval or to belong. So this is how I've worked with dreams for many years now, and it is surprising what can come up when you really pay attention. It's about the suppressed self that wants expression. And when we pay attention to that, we can find joy and meaning and purpose in life, because we really start to understand ourselves and be able to bring what is essentially our soul into our waking life and express our soul on the earth.